Get cozy, everybody, because today we'll be playing a game called Butterfly Affection. Let me just text speed, auto speed. Yeah, it's good. Let's start. Today I was out a bit longer than usual, and the sun was already setting by the time I got home. Seeing my house, I got the keys ready in advance, reaching into my pocket. Then I saw something illuminated by the street lamps out of the corner of my eye. Ho ho ho! Near my house, I saw something hard to describe on the sidewalk. The hell is this? Did this escape from Area 51 or something? Wait, let me just do this, do that, okay. Though the head, shoulders, and upper torso looked humanoid, the rest of the body did not. The light crawling reminds me of an insect, but only a few parts of its body are insect-like. If anyone saw this outside their door, they would want to stay inside. It slowly turned my way and seemed to acknowledge my existence, but made no move either toward or away from me. I don't know if it can speak like a person or if it understands words at all. As creepy as it looked, it was still close to my house. I can't just leave it here, and so I approach it. It doesn't make any sudden or threatening movements. Its only reaction to my touch is a light twitch. As I left it to carry it off, I noticed it shivering slightly. It looks really weak, and it may not have the strength to move anymore. Take it home with me. I eventually made my way to the house carrying something unfamiliar. I'm back. Don't forget to stretch, boys. Okay, observe. Although it doesn't appear injured, it's dirty from crawling around. I'd better wash it off in the bathroom. If it's not hurt, maybe the reason it looks weak is lack of food and rest. Will it recover if I feed it and provide a place to sleep? Let's see. Make something to eat. I don't know its biology, but all living things need nutrition. This is common sense, but it has features resembling humans, insects, and mollusks. What would be appropriate to feed it? After thinking about it, I retrieve a banana from the kitchen. It's edible to people and insects, and soft, nutritious foods are a good idea. I peel the banana and slice it up on a plate. Then I leave it nearby. Ooh, cool. After seeing and smelling the food, it moved and began to eat the banana slowly. Seeing it eat for the first time, I noticed it had a long tongue. It held down the plate with its left hand and pulled single slices into its mouth. While its body resembled a mollusk, the unusually long tongue looked more reptilian. I expected to eat it with a more insect-like motion. The more I looked, the less I understood. Skinship. I don't know what kind of creature it is, but most animals familiar to people react positively to petting. We humans exist to pet things we don't know. Anytime we see something, I don't know, an animal or something, who wants to pet it? I will. And the animal's like, what is this feeling? Unsurprisingly, it keeps staring right at me as I softly touch its head. I pat its head slowly. It doesn't react positively or negatively, so I'll try again later. Clean it up. Since it got dirty crawling around outside, I decided to carry it to the bathroom. After adjusting the temperature of the shower to lukewarm, I slowly started on the ends of its limbs. I was worried it would freak out like a cat, but it remained calm and docile. With it being this quiet, I figured I could be more thorough. I carefully washed its body with soap. The humanoid parts of its upper body have a texture like human skin. Oh. While the tentacle feels more smooth and slippery, the insect parts feel more firm. No new discoveries or surprises are revealed, so it looks like I've learned all I can from washing it. Make a bed. I'm not comfortable taking it to my bedroom yet, but it wouldn't be nice to leave on the cold, hard floor tonight. I don't know if it's resistant to cold, and I don't want it to tire itself out looking for somewhere comfortable. I set a towel out on the sofa and lay it down there. That should be adequate bedding with the addition of a blanket. In the day. Now what? Am I supposed to click on something? Oh, okay. Found something rather strange near my house recently. Its head, shoulders, and torso resembled those of a human, but the rest of its body was clearly not. I don't know whether it could talk or even understand speech in the first place. First I thought it was creepy, but then I realized it was in a weak condition. After taking a while to decide, I did something unusual and took it home with me. Surprised that I decided to do such a thing, but it was too weak to leave alone. It's not aggressive or bothersome, so there have been no problems keeping it home so far. If it gets too out of hand, I can just let it leave or kick it out at any time. Save, of course, I want to save. There have been already save points here. ... Observe. Oh, look at that. It's developing, evolving, I don't know. Mutating. Over a week has passed since I brought it home. While it seemed weak at first, after only a few days, it's exploring the room curiously. Moves in a very relaxed way, never rushing or knocking stuff over. But what's more surprising are the changes to its body. The end of its lower body has turned purple, and some kind of leg grew from its waist. The tentacle which lacks a heartbeat has grown as well. Oddly, the right eye has developed a second iris. It's not uncommon for various types of animals to grow limbs, but for only one eye to double is strange for a living thing. I am curious as to how it will grow, but I also feel uneasy about it. Better try learning more, starting with communication. Make something to eat. It's just the first day. I've only fed it fruits and vegetables. Those seem safe, so I'll try to cook dishes now. After I let the fried rice cool a little, I set it down. Since the food looks different from before, it takes some time observing the food before eating. It took a bit longer, but it ate the food quietly. It should be okay to expand its diet. Skinship. I pat its head again. Although I've done this many times by now, it continues to not react in a positive or negative way. However, when patting its head like this, it stares directly at me the entire time. It may be panicking or it may be wondering what I'm even doing. But since it never makes any kind of readable facial expressions, can't tell what's on its mind. I wonder if it will begin to react if I continue. Try to communicate. Although this creature has never spoken a single word, dialogue may still be possible. I'll try talking to it. I tried some common words and phrases, but it didn't reply or react. Even if I asked questions and talked about myself, it gave no indication that it understood me. I wonder if talking is even possible. However, it may not be ignoring my attempts at speech. It may not know any language at all. Even if it's not as intelligent as a human, I'll keep trying to communicate again. End of the day. Pew. It's been a while since I picked up this strange creature. It seems far healthier now. So far it doesn't seem to be able to talk, and the only sound it ever makes is a high-pitched key. Dragon Ball? Oh, it's a Super Saiyan? Is it a new life form, some undiscovered race, or an abandoned mutant, or even an extraterrestrial? All in all, I still have no idea what it is. However, it eats obediently, doesn't raise a fuss when I clean its body, is quiet and never causes problems, even though it can now explore the room at will. Sounds like a dream pet. My main concern is the speed that it's changing shape. It may be better to call it transformation than growth, though I considered it bizarre and unsettling at first. As time passed, it started to look a little cute. While it is still obviously grotesque, I seem to only be getting more attached, possibly because the upper body resembles that of a human girl. I need to stop using words like it or that. Due to her insect-like features and my desire to see her transform further, I've decided to name her Agiha. Save. I think I'm gonna need to censor this part. Observe. Agiha has grown steadily over the past few days. Her tentacles have grown and the legs on her waist have gotten longer as well. Did her couch also grow as well? But holy crap, that thing is huge. Her previously shapeless lower half is forming into more legs. Parts of her body has turned out solid and stable, but with some effort, she can now sit in places that support her back. Regardless of the way she's growing, it's clear Agya is not human. Well, yeah, no doubt, starting from day one. But when I see her sitting on the sofa, it feels like she's becoming more like one. I don't know what the future holds, but I will try to see how human she can become. Make something to eat. Given that she can now sit at mealtime, I let her use the chair and utensils. Between the structure of her joints and the unfamiliar tool, she moves awkwardly, but if I demonstrate how to eat it with a fork, she can imitate me quickly. Recently, I haven't been making separate meals for Agya, and just make more of what I eat. There's still no change in reaction to the food. Whatever I serve, she eats in small amounts. I'll try foods with stronger flavors next. Skinship. I pat Agya on the head as usual. There's no noticeable change in her expression, but recently she has stopped staring directly at me the whole time, even though she is staring at me right now. Did she lose interest or come to the conclusion that I mean no harm? With her no longer crawling on the ground, it feels more like petting a child than an animal. But while she doesn't seem to be bothered by physical contact, she still shows no signs that she enjoys it either. She looks at me occasionally with her unreadable insect-like eyes. She may not lock eyes with me like when I picked her up, but my inability to read her emotions continues to vex me. Try to communicate. I talk to Agya often, but she still cannot speak. But when I call out her name or announce a meal, even if she's out of the room, she will come. I think she's beginning to understand a little. She may only distinguish a small few words now, but I'm not giving up yet. End the day. Agya continues to grow and change every day. She no longer drags her body like a slug to move around, as she can now use her legs and arms to move her upper body for short distances. I am worried that she's growing beyond my expectations, but as always, she remains docile and quiet. However, it's not just her physical growth that intrigues me. She not only reacts to my voice now, but her newfound interest in the TV and PC indicate a possibly growing intellect. Of course, given her lack of expression and reaction, I don't know to what degree she's learning. She never misbehaves, is not very active physically, and I can't really tell her what to do anyway. I can't get an idea of her intelligence just from observing things like how she eats or sleeps. Perhaps more will be revealed as Agya continues growing. Her level of intelligence and any potential issues should become clearer as she starts moving around more freely. Save. Where did I last save? 33. Okay. I was confused. Stopped myself as I'm putting my notebook on the shelf. Since her mobility has increased, Agya tends to wander around the house. I see her moving fairly often now. She occasionally picks things up and moves them. And as for the notebook I keep on Agya since finding her, it may be on a high shelf, but I can't be completely certain it's out of her reach. Agya may learn to read and write eventually, so I should figure out how to handle this. There's no sign of her entering my room uninvited, and I don't think anything I wrote is bad, but I like to keep observing Agya with it. After thinking about it a bit, I opened my locked valuables drawer and locked the notebook inside. It may not be a sturdy lock, but I can leave other stuff in there too. If I remember the position of the items inside, I know if it's been opened. Observe. Her once twisted lower body has now become distinct legs, and they have joints she may soon stably walk with. Her face looking more human, but her right eye is dripping open wider. But since she has grown more tentacles, I can't really say she's becoming human. But this also means an increase in dexterity. She can imitate more and more human actions. Although I am wary, I would like to see Agya's potential. Make something to eat. Cool. We started including foods with harsh and bitter flavors, but as usual, she shows no reaction to her food. One thing I've noticed since I've started this is that Agya will not eat until after I start. At first I thought she might need an example to copy, but she handles spoons and forks fine now. Nevertheless, she always waits for me to start before eating. Maybe she only ate it because I did, or perhaps she wants me to eat first to show if it's poisonous. Clever. Even though it's clear by now that I mean no harm, she doesn't seem to be relaxing. Since she now looks around occasionally when I pet her, I feel I'm getting a vague idea of her mood. However, since she still has no distinct facial expressions to read, I may only be seeing what I want to see. Cool. Because some people claim that we're connected, that wild animal and me, we understand each other. You are an idiot. Try to communicate. So far, only vocalization is a rare high-pitched key sound when carried. This is one of the reasons communication is so difficult. She doesn't laugh or cry like a person or whine like a pet. Like an insect, she is difficult to read. As she becomes more human, I hope her vocal cords are evolving too. But just like before, she can only make the same key sound. Maybe for now, she'll start focusing on non-vocal forms of communication. End the day. Argea's continued growth astounds me. Her ability to handle tools is beyond that of an animal. She becomes more like a human all the time. Even though she never tries to communicate, considering what I've learned, my way of handling Argea has become more like childcare or teaching than raising a pet. When watching TV and movies, she has shown an aversion to violent scenes. She has shown a preference for comedic and romantic scenes, observing them intently. I wonder if she will come to understand me, but also worried that she might evolve beyond my comprehension. It's possible that she will either become a beautiful butterfly or a poisonous moth. Yet no matter how she changes, my affection will increase all the same. Save. 33. Oh. Although parts of Argea's body are transforming in bizarre ways, the rest of her body is definitely becoming more human. Never thought she would become so human when I meet her, but as I start seeing her as more like a person than a creature, there are certain issues I can no longer ignore. Her body is becoming not just human but feminine as well. She needs to start wearing clothes or my eyes will wander. Can't just leave her naked for the time being. So I'll give her something temporary. Since her limbs are shaped differently, I don't know how well female clothes will fit her. Because she's still changing, I'll just try one of my shirts for now. Oh, thank God. I don't have to do fucking insert censored bars again. Edit in censored bars. Observe. She didn't resist my attempt to clothe her, but she's still not used to wearing anything. I tend to find her staring at the fabric. Sometimes she strips when I'm not looking, so I don't think she likes it. Maybe I should have started clothing her before. Kinda regret not acclimating her to the idea of clothes by now. Make something to eat. I made as many kinds of food as I could. Fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, hard food, soft food, spicy, bitter, sweet. Tried many dishes with the idea of finding her likes and dislikes, but Argea never acted any differently. She likely has no sense of taste. Oh, interesting. Since she has no issues with anything I give her, no matter how unpleasant, I have decided to stop that experiment. It's clear that as far as food goes, she has no preference. Also, even though she's bigger now, the amount she eats is the same. Since she is satisfied, typo there, with her current portions, she only needs to eat once a day. Maybe she needs less energy than a human, or she might digest food more efficiently. But I appreciate how little impact she has on my expenses. Cool. Planned budget. Dressing her up made her look more human, but her lack of reactions to my touch emphasized how inhuman Argea is. Although still eerie, she looks more human by the day. Argea's many changes will probably put weird thoughts in my head, so I am relieved that her inhuman nature is still obvious. He says, I ain't gonna fap, bro. I try to communicate. I think Argea can still learn human language in the future, but she still can't speak at all. It may take time to teach her to write, but try giving her a pen. What kind of life do we have? Do we not have a job? Argea imitates my movement properly as I draw a line in front of her. But if I try letters, she only vaguely mimics them. I don't think she understands yet. I wasn't expecting her to start writing instantly. She can't handle dishes and silverware, so this is fine for now. She definitely has the dexterity to learn writing. Make a bed. Argea is significantly larger than when I found her. She may be too tall for the sofa she's been using due to her growing legs. Luckily, there's plenty of space in the living room, so I bought a mattress and pillow for Agia to use. Agia showed no emotional reaction as usual, started using the new bed. Although she's always been unreactive and unreadable, as she becomes more human, I feel a little lonely. What? What the fuck, dude? And the day. It was important to make her wear clothes, but now Agia resembles a human even more than before. Her appearance now gives off the impression of a carefree child. However, I shouldn't confuse her for a person as I still know very little about Agia or her biological traits. She may be superficially resemble a human now, but that doesn't mean she possesses a human mind. Yeah, nice. That said, even knowing that I should be careful not to assume Agia's true nature, can't help but want to develop a human heart within her, whether it's a fear that she could become a terrifying monster, or the hope that I could one day love her like my own child. I really have no idea. Honestly, it's probably a little bit of both. Savor. Dot. What the hell? When I got home today, Agia was using my computer. Checking the history only indicates that she was clicking randomly. She may just be treating it like a toy, but this means she can now use a mouse. If she keeps using it in the future and learns more as she does, this could be a major clue as to how intelligent she really is. Cool. Observe. Recently, it seems like Agia has become more expressive. You see traces of surprise or wonder. She started making light facial expressions. Though they are far more faint than those of a normal human, it's a major improvement over her previous unreactive state. With her complete lack of expression in the past, I would always have trouble understanding her. But as soon as she becomes better expressing herself, I'll be able to learn more about her. Eat. Cool. Hey look, that's our hand, I think. I slept in today, and when I left my room, breakfast had already been made. It seems like Agia cooked it herself. It's all stuff I've made before, so Agia probably imitated it from watching me cook. Although it was honestly a little bland, it was properly cooked and I had no problem eating it. With her usual lack of reaction to flavor, she calmly eats it like before. She likely still has no sense of taste. But now she sees that Agia understands how to cook and has learned how to use utensils and fire. Lady with how independent she is, I rarely need to do anything for her, so I'm not very surprised. Skinship. When I was sitting on the couch relaxing today, Agia suddenly cuddled up against me. Physical contact between us is not uncommon, but this time it felt different. Aw, that's cute. Sitting right next to me, she linked her arm with mine and pressed up against me. When I turned to her in surprise, she made eye contact and softly smiled. Compared to our more pet and owner-like skinship in the past, what Agia did this time felt human, even feminine, and was very charming. It was a small thing compared to all her changes until now, but the effect it had on me was enormous. Enormous downstairs, wink wink. Ow, my eye. The fucking eyelash inserted into my fucking eye. Ow. Okay, I'm fine now. Wait, let me just... Fuck. As the surprise and confusion ran through my mind, I sat there lost in Agia's sweet smile. Try to communicate. Even though Agia is usually remarkably well behaved, her lack of direct communication is getting frustrating. I tried teaching her how to use a pen or type on a keyboard, but I still can't seem to get her to use any kind of words herself. This would be normal for a dog or a cat, but Agia is clearly more intelligent. Only my attempts to use the language to communicate fail, almost as if she's faking her inability. That said, there was no sign that she could understand me before, so it's still within the realm of possibility. Probably just making selfish assumptions in my frustration, instead of no way of knowing for sure. End the day. I still can't read Agia's thoughts and emotions well, but recently she has become much more expressive. She now smiles when I pat her head and frowns a little when I ignore her. When I think about it, she spends a lot of time either observing me or the people on TV. The recent changes in Agia's behavior indicate that she might be trying to imitate humans. Oh, okay. As obviously inhuman as she is, it seems like she's losing some of her more unusual features and becoming more human. But while she shows more emotion now, it feels less like a natural change and more like a deliberate one. Yeah, it's adapting to the environment with the animals around. This is only speculation and conjecture for now, since I still don't know for sure if she wants to be human or has a completely different goal in mind. Though I am happy that Aggie has become more expressive, I'm worried that she might evolve beyond my comprehension. Only time will tell how she develops her newly apparent emotions. Save, please. 2023. Observe. Wearing clothes has made it more difficult to see Agia's growth, but recently her body hasn't been changing much. Instead, her behavior has changed a lot, especially her expressions. Agia has started actively seeking intimate skinship, which is starting to trouble me. Wink wink, if you know what I mean. Until recently, I saw Agia as a pet or specimen, but she suddenly became a pretty girl. Since I still can't get a read on Agia's perspective on this, there's no way to know for sure. I can only learn more if we find a direct way to communicate, so I want to figure that out as soon as possible. Eat. Yeah. Agia started cooking more often now, and lately I've been eating her food every day. Sometimes the taste is good, and sometimes it's weird. Since I don't tend to watch her in the kitchen as she cooks, maybe she's learning through trial and error. Agia only cooks things I've made before, so she's probably trying to imitate me. Since I'm not really a good cook myself, it's reasonable to assume that she wouldn't be either. But since she almost never makes the food truly awful, I'm grateful that she's willing to cook. Skinship. Whenever Agia is nearby, she now gets very cuddly and clingy. She wouldn't understand even if I told her to stop. For the first time, it's a genuine problem that Agia doesn't do as I say. Although it's not like I ever understood her anyway. Till now, Agia was quiet and well behaved, but since I didn't establish boundaries before, I realized that I can't really control her actions now. Haha. Our fault. Try to communicate. Can't get her to nod or shake her head in response to what I say, but she no longer stares blankly when I talk. Now she just smiles at me. She gives off a very different impression now, but her lack of reaction is still the same. Agia has changed in many ways, but I've still made no progress in trying to communicate. End the day. Agia's suddenly forward affection is a major change from her previously unresponsive self. I wonder if it is because I showed her too many shows and movies depicting romance and not enough other genres. If I were being optimistic, I would welcome these changes, as she shows favorable new traits. But given how sudden and swift the changes were, I instead feel wary and confused about what her true intentions are. Oh my god, she wants to be in a love comedy situation? She tried to grasp my mood, experimenting to see my reactions or something else entirely? Haha, looks like the lab rat has become the scientist. Even if I try to compare her to animals or humans, this shift was too abrupt for me to know for sure. That said, I can't deny that I enjoy her affections and seeing such a pretty smile on Agia's face. However, I also feel very uneasy about it at the same time. See how things go? What's the difference? It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, so I'll leave things as they are and see what Agia does next. Save. Let's see. One day Agia was playing with the computer, or was she? She caught my attention and showed me a page on a mail order site. Maybe she wants me to buy something. While considering whether to actually purchase it, I go ahead and add it to the cart for her. Then Agia starts browsing related items, looking at a multitude of different pages. She stops at another item and gives me the same look as before. After repeating the cycle a few times, several pieces of clothing and fabric pile up in the site's cart. She seems satisfied with this and lets me use the chair and mouse. The extra fabric all matches up with the clothing. If Agia were to receive all this, she may start wearing more clothes. Or maybe she just liked looking at the pictures. I do have to clothe her properly anyway, and Agia is growing much more slowly now. The total price is not cheap at all, but it's still a reasonable amount. Since Agia eats only a little, she barely increased my expenses, and even helps with the cooking. It's gonna cost a pretty penny, but it's within my budget, so I decide to finish placing the order. After a few days, everything I ordered arrives. I unpack it all and give it to Agia. I wonder how well she can wear it with no modifications, But as I'm thinking about that, Agya brings out a sewing kit. What? Where did you... Okay. I can't sew myself, but I never throw it out. She must have found it collecting dust on the shelf. I didn't expect her to be able to sew at all. What the hell? Where did you learn this? Despite that, Agya opens the sewing kit and starts working. It looks like she won't need any help from me. Agya starts off slowly working with the tools, but she handles them deftly with no issue. Since it seems she will be here for a while, I'll leave her to her own devices for now. I guess it kinda makes sense, but then again, a spider is not an insect, it's an arachnid, there we go. Agya's recent behavior is unsettling, so this time away is a breath of fresh air. Since rejecting contact with her will affect her mood, I'm glad she now has something to keep her interest. Now I'm completely certain about it. Agya's intelligence is at least on the level of a human. She understands clothing, can use a computer, can plan in advance, and can learn how to sew, and has the skill and knowledge to properly do it. She's shown greater intellect than a human child. She's obviously intelligent enough. So her continued inability to communicate feels unnatural. I don't know if she can't communicate or refuses to. She should be able to at least convey something. She's too busy sewing for me to try at the moment, so I'll try again after she's done. Even if she still doesn't respond, I'd like to keep trying. The next day I left my room, and I saw Agya wearing new clothes. Cool. Looks like she finished her modifications. Even though she was working skillfully before, I was still surprised at how well it turned out. Yeah, it is looking cool. Her inhuman parts are hidden enough that she can pass as a girl. It's a bit conspicuous, but there are faces like that out there. She looks mostly human now. She might be able to go outside like this. I'm impressed. Suddenly, Agya points to the entrance. See if she really intends to go outside dressed like this. I figured she would want to leave the house at some point, but I wasn't expecting it to be so soon. Did she figure out that I have nothing planned today? Eventually, I decided to go out with Agya for a while. I probably don't have to worry about her running off or scaring anyone. I can't be optimistic about this trip with Agya. I shouldn't get too worked up, but I doubt that will stop soon. We're only going to see the neighborhood, so don't make a scene. Agya's only response is a knowing smile. Only a few days ago she kept her intelligence hidden, but she still won't even nod or shake her head to reply. I'll interpret her smile as a yes for now, but I need something more clear. Either way, it should be fine for now. I'm worried, but I open the front door and leave with Agya. Cool. As soon as we left the house, she took my arm and started walking. Since it's her first time outside since we met, and leaning on me makes her four-legged walking look more natural, I have no reason to stop her this time. She's wearing a cute dress and her inhuman parts are hidden from view. My sense of reason and morality fights it, but I'm seeing her as a girl now. My heart rate is increasing from this unusual tension. Luckily, it's early and there are a few people around, and nobody who sees Agya shows any suspicion. After walking a bit, Agya and I stop at the nearby park and sit on a bench. I'll let Agya see the view, and then head back home. Not much time has passed since we left, but between Agya's actions and my nervousness taking her outside, my heart is pounding. I turn toward Agya to check how she's doing, and see her reaching towards me, bring her face closer. I don't know what Agya is doing, so I let her continue. She's gonna strangle us. Her face is very close, and I only realize what she's doing a bit too late. I raised my arm to stop her, but we're out in public. Just shoving her away would draw attention. Thinking about what to do, I stopped moving. I was still for just a small moment, but that moment was long enough for her lips to meet mine. Ooh. Observe. Agya didn't try anything after that. When I suggested going home and stood up, she followed me obediently. I don't know if it's an imitation born of curiosity or if she has the concept of love, but this behavior makes it clear that she sees me as a man. Big man. The femininity I saw in Agya was intentional. Cool though. I'm still upset about what happened and it's still clouding my mind. I wonder if this was Agya's plan all along. Maybe as I understand more about her I can come to an answer. I need to get my thoughts together. Eat. Cool. Agya's cooking has improved. In taste and presentation, it surpasses my own. It sometimes tastes odd, though I was never a great cook myself, but I don't get it. Maybe she's putting her liquids in the food. Is it possible? Holy crap. She's using her own bodily fluids and like some yandere bullshit now. She may be adding some kind of special ingredient. Her own body parts. Or she could be trying to make the food unique to her. Maybe she's learning how to cook more than just what she's watched me make. I thought Aggie had no sense of taste, but was I wrong? Maybe she did, but it never showed on her face. Whether her cooking skill increased without a sense of taste, I have no idea. I shouldn't think about it too hard. This is a trivial matter compared to her excessive skinship. I don't need to worry about that while I'm eating, though. I thank Aggie for the meal and keep eating. I don't know if she understood, but she softly smiled in response. Aw, she is cute though. Skinship. As I figure out how to accept Aggie's new behavior, her constant skinship troubles me. Pretend to be hard at work and reduce my contact with her. If I let her cuddle with me and get affectionate, she might try something like what she did at the park again. Aggie seems quite dissatisfied with the distance I'm keeping between us. When I avoid her, a bored frown appears on her face. When I see it, the guilt stabs at my heart and makes me want to return to her side, but I decide this is the safer option and force myself to look away. Try to communicate. Try. Feels like Aggie can communicate without using language, so there should be other ways I can try. I read some materials that might help with that. Pet training, children's education, communication with foreign cultures, even read texts on psychology and mental disorders. I feel myself getting impatient with Aggie, but she doesn't need to know that. Even if I try various kinds of basic yes or no questions, she gives no indication that she understands. Maybe it's not that she has nothing to say, but instead that she doesn't feel like telling me anything. Aggie is neither human nor animal, a unique existence. It's possible that her mental structure doesn't even allow for language. They communicate via cannibalism. If they scream, they're in pain. If they scream lightly, then they accept their death. But since I'm an amateur in this subject and not willing to use extreme methods, I'll have to settle for that answer. End the day. What should I do now? Should I accept Aggie's new behavior? She's changed so much in such a short time. She hasn't made a move on me since then. But if she does, will she stop at just a kiss? I don't know if I can control Aggie's behavior. I haven't tried restraining her, kicking her out, or getting violent to stop her, and I don't know how she would react if I tried. I'm afraid that I might not even be able to. No, after what I fear isn't the risk of the unknown. It's possible that Aggie will get angry and cause trouble, but I'm not too worried about that. I just don't want Aggie to hate me. Save, please. Let's see. Here. Normally, by the time I sleep, Aggie quietly goes to bed on her own, but tonight she came into my room. Thinking about her recent excessive kinship, I warily face her. She gives no indication that she notices my worry. She sits next to me on the bed with no hesitation. Before I can say anything, Aggie wraps a tentacle around my neck and slowly pulls me toward her. Thinking she was trying the same thing as before, I grab Aggie by the shoulder and stop her. Even if she doesn't understand me, I tell her firmly to stop doing these things. When I say this, Aggie's face quickly shifts expressions. Anger, sadness, surprise? I'm not sure what I see on her face now. I don't know how she really feels. After a few seconds, Aggie narrows her eyes, but still can't tell what she's thinking. Suddenly, I feel a light pain in my neck where her tentacle is touching me. I touch the part where I felt it, but there's no blood and the pain quickly recedes. It didn't hurt very much, but it hurt enough that I was sure I didn't imagine it. In my puzzled confusion, I look at her and see her smiling gently. She pulls me toward her just like before. I put my hand on her shoulder to push her away, but I no longer have any power in my limbs. Uh-oh. Paralysis! Just putting my hand on Aggie's shoulder can't stop her. She kisses me like she did before. Oh, but unlike before, she doesn't stop at a light kiss. Uh-oh. She keeps going until I have to take several breaths through my nose. She lightly pushes against me, and my weakened body falls to the bed, too powerless to resist. She lays across my front as she keeps kissing me, and her long tongue slithers between my lips. Multiple tentacle-like tongues coil around my tongue, run across my teeth, lick my inner cheeks, and slowly invade my throat. Holy crap, it's either the worst thing or the best thing ever. I mean, this is against our will, but who's complaining? I keep trying to push Agya away, but my arms have no strength. Can't resist her in any way. Steals my breath away slowly and steadily. Holy crap, we would be dead by now. And all I can do is accept this passionate kiss beyond what any human could ever do. Holy crap. Now you're just showing off. Now you're just bragging, dude. Actually, despite my deep paralysis, my body has become extremely sensitive, if you know what I mean. I guess warmth, her rough tongues, her shallow breaths, the wet sound of her saliva, they echo through my mind, destroying my will to resist. How much time passed? Enough time for the day to go dark? May have been 2, 3, or even 10 minutes. You're just bragging again, dude. Just saying. Although I don't know for how long my consciousness faded away, eventually Agya slowly released my lips. Freedom! As I wondered what she would do next, Agya stared at me for a while. She smiled, kissed me gently, and left the room. The paralysis slowly wore off. I regained full control of my body and managed to sit up. I wonder if she did the kiss to remove the paralysis thingy. I don't know. Suck out the paralysis ash. After confirming that my body is back to normal, I clutched my head in terror. Right, we were. I thought she might be potentially dangerous before, but since Agya had the physique of a girl, I was confident I could fight her off if I needed to. She's definitely far more dangerous than I thought. But honestly, this doesn't change anything. I just have to be more careful in the future. Although I don't know when she'll try something again, I should try not to upset her for now. I tremble in fear thinking of that deep, sweet kiss etched into my mind. The thought, maybe I should accept her, suddenly returns. This dangerous, mysterious thought somehow grows only stronger. Rather than fearing the odd being known as Agya, I'm afraid of myself for wanting her even more. When Agya stung me, I lost all movement in my body. Her venom is strong and fast-acting, but luckily temporary. It leaves no scar or noticeable after effects to my health. It also seemed to increase my sensitivity when she kissed me. Although the venom only affected me for a short time, what Agya did to me remains clear in my mind when I see her. Can't decide on where to go from here. I'm organizing my thoughts and trying to see how I can move forward. Well, we could start by using our legs and go into some straight direction. But I don't know, what should I do now? What is it that I really truly want? Save. I want to save. Ear. Still stuck in my current state of worry, I stay in the bedroom. Agya comes back in and approaches me. And like before, she reaches out to me. I accept Agya's hand. Resistance is futile. If I accept her, everything should be fine. With that excuse in my mind, I allow Agya to kiss me again. Bragging asshole. I was paralyzed and collapsed last time, but this time I lean into her. Pressing against her and hugging Agya tightly, I warmly embrace her. As we lock lips over and over, Agya's long tongue slides into my mouth like before. Her rough tongue, her hot breath, the warmth of her body. My thoughts are overrun with the stimulation of our tongues as I clutch her in my arms. Suddenly, my breath hitches. I pull my arms away, and Agya slowly lays down. Uh-oh. Unlike last time when she was on top of me, I see Agya reaching towards me from below. Distance between us shrinks as I let her pull me in, and we start heatedly kissing again. Deeply, hotly, intensely, I taste Agya. The wet sound of our saliva and breath echoes through the room. Woof, won't that disturb the neighbors? Agya's breathing gets rougher and her cheeks start to flush. Please don't just stay like this. Please don't have her clothes removed. I don't want to edit and censor shit. When I break off the kiss to catch my breath, Agya starts to unbutton her clothes. What are we about to do? Do it. That stark thought calms me down and makes me hesitate. I feel bad about stopping here, but I try pulling away, only to be stopped by Agya's clingy embrace. While I try to figure out what to do next, I feel a familiar pain in my neck. Here we go again. Although I manage to sit back up, my body soon becomes weak again. And within a few seconds, I can barely move at all. This time I quickly start regaining my ability to move, and Agya stands up. It looks like I won't be paralyzed like before. Instead, I feel a different sensation overwhelmingly. My breath speeds up as if I'm suddenly drunk, and intense heat spreads through me. Uh-oh. Aphrodisiac? My sensitivity rises like adrenaline is pumping through me. Try to calm down, but my heart is pounding faster and faster. I clutch my chest and look down, only to see what I'm pumping a tent in my pants. Popping a tent. I look back up after hearing a light rustling sound and see Agia's clothes falling to the floor. Oh fuck! Oh god damn it! I have to fucking censor this. When I look up, Agia has finished stripping and starts coming closer. I haven't seen Agia nude in a while. Her purple twisted human parts don't deter me now. I mean, it looks like a feature, honestly. Feminine curves, full swollen breasts, glossy pale skin. This beautiful naked body that fills me to brim with passion enters my sight and shreds the last scrap of reason left in me. I throw off my clothes in a rush and push Agia down into the bed. Uh-oh. And then... Blah. How long were we at it? Now you're just bragging, bruh. I look out the window to see it's already dark outside and I missed work. Uh-oh, fuck, I'm gonna get fired. Our desire sated, Agia and I lay in bed, on our sides panting tiredly. This was the first time I'd ever felt such passion because of that drug thingy, as if I had become a beast. I don't get a lot of exercise, so I'll probably be sore tomorrow. However, in my fatigue, I felt very comfortable. It's probably a good thing that I let these pent-up desires out all at once. After I cool down and raise my heavy body, I check on Agia. She seems quite calm as she opens her eyes to stare back at me. A normal girlfriend would probably be upset about how rough and feral I just was, but despite that, Agia gives me the same gentle knowing smile as usual. ... After a few minutes, Agia puts her clothes on and leaves the room. Eventually, I hear some noise from the kitchen, so she's probably making food. I don't know where to go from here, but for now I'll log this in the notebook. I shut the door, open the locked drawer like always, and pull it out. As I figure out how to get my thoughts on paper, I suddenly notice something amiss. Oh, cool. 2 lonely words written in the red ink catch my eye. I didn't write these. The only one who could have is Agia. I intended to use this notebook to document Agia's growth. I've never shown it to her, or left it where it could be seen. I even locked it up, and when I pulled it out, I always made sure everything was where I left it. I should have paid... That's how I spell paid. Should have paid closer attention. You should have paid closer attention to this word. If I were more careful about ensuring that Agia wasn't in here, I would notice that she did something. But Agia saw what she wanted to and touched what she wanted to. It's not like she had anything to hide. From the time I found her to today, she acted in a relatively consistent manner. If the shelf was forced open, or if the lock was broken, it would have made more sense. But this was so subtle, Agia must have opened it before without me knowing. But why write just this? If she could write, why had she never done so before? Why? Why? Questions pop up in my head one after another, and one in particular makes my heart skip a beat. Then, since when? The last time I opened the notebook was yesterday, and I've been home the whole time since then. In the limited time Agia would have to search my room, finding my notes and adding her own writing while I'm not looking would be very difficult to do so neatly. But the day she first saw my notes was probably long before writing in them. If she knew about the notes and where they were hidden already, then when I was sleeping or bathing, it would easily be possible. The message she's writing in my private notebook tells me is that I have been aware of it for a while. If so, then Agia should have known already, known just how much her behavior was affecting me. It was all part of her plan. Panic takes over my mind. I look back down at those words. What, did she even use her own blood? As ink? A clear answer to my question is written in my language. I'm not just imagining it. Seeing these words, I'll accept her love first. I still can't truly understand Agia's thoughts and actions, but this time she answered me clearly. She always refused to communicate until now, but she used words to tell me something for the first time ever. Even though my mind reels with uncertainties and unpleasant scenarios, I'm tired of agonizing over all this. Agea already has me wrapped up in her web, and I can't resist her. Maybe it's because of the drug thing. Maybe it's because of her stinging us all the time. Even though Agea frightens me, I push those thoughts aside. Now I just regret having kept my distance before now. I drop my notebook on the desk and open the door. Then I see Agea approaching from the kitchen. Something smells good. She probably finished cooking and came to get me. When I approach and stroke her cheek, Agea looks up at me cutely. I whisper my words of love to her. Maybe Agea's put me in the palm of her hand, so these words shouldn't surprise her. But she still seems happy and satisfied to hear me. Agea's sweet smile is beautiful and dazzling. We embrace in a soft hug, and I decide to do my best for Agea. My previous moral concerns no longer bother me. Agea is still as mysterious as ever, but now I'm committed to her. If my love is what Agea wants from me, then I will give her the love she wants. Happy end, hooray! So what if we avoid taking Agea's hand? How's that gonna work? Click. Continue. Avoid Agea's hand. If she's using venom, I just have to not let her touch me. Knowing this, I don't need to be subtle about it. I pull away from her, avoiding the tentacle reaching toward me. A bored expression crosses Agea's face, but she stops there. I stand up, away from her. She unexpectedly leaves the room as if giving up. Eventually, I hear some noise from the kitchen, so she's probably making food. I don't know where to go from here, but for now, I'll log this in the notebook. I shut the door, open the locked drawer, like always, and pull it out. So I'm figuring out to get my thoughts to paper, suddenly notice something amiss. Two lonely words, we know this already. So I chose avoid Agea's hand, but will it still be the same if I choose love me or something? Oh, I see. If I avoid Agea's hand, the only choice I get is I'm terrified. But if I choose accept, I get two choices to either accept her love or this, terrified. I get it. So I'm guessing if I accept Agea's hand and choose I'm terrified, it's still gonna be the same ending. Maybe. I feel a deep, overwhelming terror. I don't understand what Agea's doing to me, even though we already done it in bed, but okay. I could never understand her. She's stirring up my heart with her constant mischief, and I can't stay calm. So I'm going to leave the house and stay at a hotel. I need to get away from Agea as soon as I can. If I think about it calmly, I can rely on the police for this. I must find a way to be safe from her. I can't live a decent life with her around. Time to go for a walk. Can't let Agea get suspicious, so I don't pack anything for an overnight stay. I just put my wallet in my pocket and open the door. Uh-oh. The music is slightly different and more intimidating. Agea is standing right in front of the door, like she was waiting for me. I try to keep a smile on my face, but the only emotion I feel now is fear. I act as natural as I can, not too cheerful or too serious. I want to cool my head for a bit, so I'm going for a walk, I say as I pass by Agea, trying not to shit my pants. She calmly stands out of the way. But as I pass Agea to leave, I feel something touch my neck. And yet again I feel a light pain. As everything starts going black, I see a different expression than usual on Agea's face. A sad look. Or maybe shock. Oh. I woke up on my bed. How long was I out? Looking at the clock, it seems only a short time has passed. Less than an hour? Even so, I feel refreshed. All that anxiety, terror, and stress I've been feeling, it's like it all floated away. Suddenly the door opens and I see Agea come in. As soon as I see her, the events of the past few hours flash through my mind. But why does it matter? I know that Agea is dangerous, but could I just be overthinking things? Holy crap! She brainwashed us. She's definitely at least as intelligent as a human. So if she intended to kill or eat me, it would be obvious at this point. If she meant me harm, I would surely be dead by now. Even though I acted the way I did earlier, Agea seems to have made food and has a bowl in hand. As soon as I saw Agea's face, all my worries and troubles flew away. I still feel guilty for stifling the love in my heart. I'm still a little worried that I can't understand her, but the emotions Agya shows aren't very different from those of a person. The charming attraction I feel no longer scares me. We are fucking drugged up. Can't bring myself to reject her now. Why would I do that to Agya? She sits next to me and offers the food. I take it gratefully. That's how to spell gratefully. Wait, is it? No, yeah, it is it. It is. And whisper my words of love to her. Agya is silent as usual, but she responds with a beautiful smile. I spend a long time staring straight at Agya's face. Seeing her expression, her love for me floods in. As I eat, I think about the words written in my notebook and consider the meaning of those words. From now on, I decide to do my best for Agya. Agya is still as mysterious as ever, but now I'm committed to her. If my love is what Agya wants from me, then I will give her the love she wants. Happy end. Cool. So what if we continue? So what if we let's see. So what if we accept Agya's hand and then choose I'm terrified? Accept her love, terrified. The deep overwhelming terror, I don't understand what's going to do it to me. Can never understand her. Staring up because of mischief. So I'm going to leave. I think it's the same. If I think about it calmly, can I live a decent life to have to go for a walk? Just put my wallet, I guess, standing right in front of the door like she was waiting for me. So who's in the kitchen? Another her? Keep a smile on my face, but the only emotion I saw is fear. Natural, serious, calm. Yet again, I feel like pain, different expression, sad look, maybe shock. How long? Yeah, same thing. Last ending, I guess. Day I was a bit out longer than usual, and the sun was already setting by the time I got home. Seeing my house, I got the keys ready in advance. Reaching into my pocket, then I saw something illuminated by the street lamps out of the corner of my eye. Near my house, I saw something hard to describe on the sidewalk. Though the head, shoulders, and upper torso looked humanoid, the rest of the body did not. What a transformation from this to that. The light crawling reminds me of an insect, but only a few parts of its body are insect-like. When I saw this outside her door, they would want to stay inside. It slowly turned my way and seemed to acknowledge my existence, but made no move either toward or away from me. I don't know if it can speak like a person or if it understands words at all. As creepy as it looked, it was so close to my house. I can't just leave it here, so I approach it. It doesn't make any sudden or threatening movements. Its only reaction to my touch is a light twitch. As I lift to carry it off, I notice it shivering slightly. Looks really weak and may not have the strength to move anymore. Leave it alone and go home. I'm uneasy about having this strange thing near my house. I move further away and place it on the ground, pointing away from my house. I hope it goes away somewhere. Thinking of that, I return home. Yeah. But there's also another thing. For example, I read that there, you can, for example, we can observe it and then don't get her something to eat. Clean it up. Make a bed. End the day. Don't save. Observe. Skinship. Try to communicate. Observe. So the thing I did is I chose every option except makes her some food and shit, because I read somewhere that you can activate the galleries and show other stuff like showing Agya find fruit for herself, but I guess in this version it doesn't have that. And because I didn't feed her the entire time, she's like, Agya is gone. When I went to the living room, there was nobody there and the front door was unlocked. Seems she left while I was asleep. Maybe I should have just left the keys on a hook. She grew up enough to easily leave through the front door. I ran around the neighborhood looking for her. She's been gone for several days, and I haven't heard about any unusual sightings either. But I decided to give up looking. I wasn't raising her with some purpose or desire, I just picked her up on a whim. Even so, I'm sure she will be okay. So yeah, that's it. I guess this version that isn't complete, I guess. So yeah. Butterfly Affection, that was fun. If you want to try the game for yourselves, I don't know if I can post the link because dangerous website and all that stuff. Or maybe I should just post it, or maybe I should just, nah, I don't think I can post the link here because I might get a warning or a strike from YT from, why are you posting such a dangerous link or a link that has nudity or that crap. So yeah, I don't think I can post that. Anyway, that was Butterfly Affection. Want to try the game for yourselves, just look for it on the internet. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.